There will come a time when your words are twisted, your intent distorted, and your truth challenged. It may be in the public square, in the workplace, or even among those you once trusted. In such moments, it is easy to give in to anger, to retaliate with venom, or to despair at the injustice. But that is not the way of the Stoic. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. If they twist your words, do not waste your breath in anger. Instead, respond with measured wisdom. Here are 6 things to say that will make them regret their actions, not through malice, but through the undeniable force of reason and character. 1. I only control my words, not your interpretation. Let them wrestle with this truth. We are not responsible for how others perceive us, only for our own virtue. If they choose to misinterpret, they are the ones burdened by error, not us. Imagine a man who is accused falsely before a crowd. He speaks his truth, yet his words are twisted to fit another's agenda. He remains calm, for he knows that his truth is not dependent on the approval of the masses. Over time, those who seek wisdom will see through the deception, and those who revel in falsehoods will be left with nothing but their own fabrications. A great emperor once faced rumors and distortions about his leadership. His enemies painted him as a tyrant, though he ruled with justice. Instead of wasting his breath in rebuttal, he focused on his work, improving the lives of his people. Over time, history remembered him as a philosopher king, while his detractors faded into obscurity. 2. Misrepresentation changes nothing about the truth. A lie, no matter how loudly spoken, does not alter reality. Stand firm in this knowledge. The truth will endure long after falsehoods have withered away. Consider the great philosophers of old, many of whom were persecuted for their ideas. Socrates was condemned by those who feared his wisdom, yet his teachings live on, immortal, while his accusers are but a footnote in history. The truth is like the sun. Clouds may obscure it for a time, but they cannot extinguish its light. A merchant once suffered slander from a jealous rival. His wares were called inferior, his honesty questioned, yet he did not argue. He simply continued to sell the finest goods, offering fair prices and standing by his integrity. Over time, the people saw the truth. His shop flourished while his rival's business crumbled under the weight of its own deceit. 3. A wise man argues not with noise but with conduct. Do not engage in fruitless disputes. Let your actions speak louder than their distortions. Time reveals character. Let them be exposed by their own folly. There was once a Stoic who, when faced with slander, chose silence. His accuser expected outrage, yet he found none. Instead, the Stoic continued his life with unwavering discipline. The people, seeing the contrast between the nobleman and the deceitful one, soon knew where the truth resided. A general falsely accused of treachery did not beg for his reputation. He simply led his army with courage and honor. In battle he saved his nation, and in the end the people saw who was truly loyal. His accusers, ashamed, were forgotten, while his name became legend. For those who twist words reveal their own weakness. To twist words is to admit defeat in honest discourse. A strong mind does not need deception. By twisting your words, they have already shown themselves to be unworthy of trust. Picture a dishonest merchant who tricks his customers with false weights and altered contracts. In the short term, he profits, but as his reputation grows tarnished, his customers vanish and he is left with nothing. Deception is a poor foundation for any endeavor, and those who practice it will always falter. A ruler who manipulated laws to his advantage thought himself powerful, yet his people, once deceived, eventually rose against him. His strength was an illusion, and when the truth came to light, his fall was swift and unforgiving. 5. What you say of me does not make it so. An insult or a distortion has no power unless you grant it power. If you remain unmoved, their falsehoods crumble. Their regret will come not from your retaliation, but from your unwavering peace. Consider a stone in a raging river. The water rushes past, trying to erode its form, but the stone remains unshaken. Be like that stone. Let the words of others flow past you, for they cannot shape you unless you allow them to. A scholar was mocked by his peers for his unconventional ideas. They called him a fool, yet he ignored their taunts and continued his work. Decades later, his theories became the foundation of modern science. The same voices that ridiculed him were long silenced by time and irrelevance. 6. May you find clarity as I already have. This is the ultimate response, not anger, not revenge, but a wish for their enlightenment. The greatest triumph over deceit is to remain untarnished by it. The true Stoic does not seek to conquer his enemies with force, but to rise above them with wisdom. He does not wish them harm but hopes they will see the folly of their ways and choose a better path. And if they do not, that is their burden to carry, not his. A wise woman once faced betrayal. Rather than seek vengeance, she lived a life of virtue and excellence. Those who wronged her, haunted by their own guilt, sought her forgiveness. She granted it, not for their sake, but for her own peace. The burden of wrongdoing remained theirs to bear, while she remained free. Final thoughts. The strength of the unmoved mind, brothers and sisters, in wisdom. Let not the twisting of words shake your foundation. The world is full of noise, but the Stoic remains unmoved, firm in principle, and unshaken in virtue. Respond with calm, not fury, with clarity, not confusion, with wisdom, not war. There will always be those who seek to distort, who thrive on conflict and deception, but they are like shadows, void of substance, easily dispersed by the light of truth. If they twist your words, let them. The truth remains. The wise do not waste time chasing after every falsehood. Instead, they stand tall, confident that the storm will pass, and only the eternal principles of reason and virtue will endure. And in the end, those who seek to twist will be the ones who twist themselves into knots. Leave them there, for they are prisoners of their own making. Be steadfast, be unshaken, be free. I've expanded your speech further with additional examples in depth. Let me know if you need any more refinements.